Alrighty, hello there. My name is Carson, or Carson Renee, or Carson Renee Gaming, depending on where you found me. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have other videos on this channel. I know they are like gaming clips or VODs and stuff like that, but I wanted to start making content that was in addition to gaming, if that makes sense. I wanted something that wasn't just, hey, watch my streams, or hey, here's some funny clips from stream. Like, I wanted some other content other than just stream, because I am more than just a streamer. So I thought I would do an introduction video. This is what this is. I have come up with a list of questions that I'm going to ask myself and answer them, and hopefully you guys get to know me a little bit better. And hopefully if you've never seen any of my streams, or this is the first time you've ever heard of me or ever seen me in your life, hopefully I intrigue you enough for you to come check out some of my other stuff that I'm doing. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that first question. What is your full name? Carson Renee is not my full name. That is my first and middle name. Carson Renee Baird is my full name. Baird is a Scottish name, which we'll get into that later. But yeah, so that's me. How old are you? I am 27. I was born on December 20th of 1994. I'm a Sagittarius baby. Where are you from? So as a military brat, any military brat can tell you that that's kind of a loaded question, because most of us have moved around a bit or have lived other places besides the place that they're currently living or where they were born. So I just like to tell people where I was born and where I've spent most of my life, and that's Oklahoma. It's where I'm currently living, unfortunately. But I lived in Oklahoma for about 16 years. Then I moved, and then we came back, and then I moved again, and now I'm back here again. But we'll get into that. What's your favorite color? My favorite color is purple, as you can see with my lights behind me. I love purple, and my little water bottle right here. Purple is my favorite color. It is the color of royalty, which we love. The next one is, what jobs have you worked? So this is kind of a long story, which I think it is usually for anyone who is in their mid to late 20s. So when I first graduated high school, because my parents didn't want us working in high school, we wanted us focusing on schoolwork and stuff. When I first graduated high school, I worked as a nanny at the little daycare that was on the NATO base where we lived, because we were stationed in Germany at the time. And I did that for about a year, and then I started working at the thrift store on the Air Force Base where we were stationed at with my mom, and that was a lot of fun. And then we moved back to the States, and I was going to school. I was going to college, and I worked as a waitress at this little place here in Oklahoma. It's local, called Del Rancho. If you're not from here, you're not going to know what that is. Honestly, even if you are from here, there's a big chance that you don't know what that is. But I waited there for about 6 months before I joined the military, and then I joined the Air Force in May of 2015. And I was a maintenance data analyst for most of the time while I was in, about 4 years. I worked with the RC-135s and the 4Bs at Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska. And then my last year while I was in, I was actually a passport liaison for the Secretary of Defense team. So that's what we did there. And then I got out of the military and I started going to school, and I started working at Red Door Escape Room. It is an escape room. It's a lot of fun. I love puzzles and games and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I did for about a year. I loved it. I loved the job. The company itself wasn't that great, but that is a whole other story. And then after the escape room, I did do OnlyFans. Anybody who knows me knows that I did do that for about 6 months full time. It was fun, tiring. It's definitely mentally draining. And anybody who's done that kind of work knows that it can be like that. But it was fun while it lasted. And then I started working at a loft here in Oklahoma City. It's a hotel that's downtown. It was fun. I only worked there for a month, because then I was offered a job at Petland here in Oklahoma City, which is a pet store. And I love animals. I love them so much. It's kind of what I want to do at the end of my life. Like, when I retire and I don't have to work anymore, I want to open up an animal sanctuary and just take care of old animals. Like, that's what I want to do. So when I was offered the job to work at Petland, even though it was a $1 dock down, like I lost $1 of pay, I took it because I love animals. But I did end up leaving there because of some toxic leadership, and also the pay wasn't that great, and I really needed some more money. So I did end up leaving there, even though I loved the job. I loved hanging out with animals all day, because that's pretty much all we did was hang out with the animals. It was a lot of fun. But now I am at a chiropractor's office, which I'm not going to say which one because I don't need anybody stalking me. But I am at a chiropractor's office, and it's a lot of fun. I'm an office manager there. I started as a chiropractor's assistant, but now I'm this office manager. And yeah, it's a good time. I like it. Pay isn't enough either because life is expensive. But I'm currently looking for another job. But you know it'll come. It's supposed to. But I like who I work for, and I like the doctor. He's really great, and my coworker is awesome. So that's kind of what matters. The patients are great too. So it's not a bad job, but I definitely need some more money. But anyways, my next question is, what's your favorite food? So that's a hard question for me because I love food. I love to cook. I love to bake. I love to eat. I just love food. So that's really hard. However, if I had to say like a genre of food, which I don't think that's how that's said, I would definitely go with like Mexican or like Tex-Mexy type stuff. Like I love nachos, burritos, tacos, like all that kind of stuff. You throw queso or guacamole on anything and I freaking eat it. Or anything in a tortilla and I'm down for it. Either that or sushi. I could have sushi every day of my life. I love the raw stuff, cooked stuff, fried rolls, just straight sashimi. Like I love sushi. Next question is, what's your favorite alcoholic drink? And that's a hard one too, because I love to drink. Anybody who knows me knows I love to drink. I'm almost always drinking on stream. I've tried to cut back a little bit, but that's hard. My favorite drink would have to be probably just wine. I could drink wine almost every day. Like I love, because in the morning you can have champagne, like you can have mimosas. Whenever you're kind of just feeling, something light, you can have like a glass of white wine. But if you really want to get into the wine, you can have like a glass of heavy red. Like wine is top tier. If I had to choose a second, it would definitely be margaritas. I love a good margarita, but I don't like tequila, so I can't just take like tequila shots. My sister can, and she's a psycho, but tequila shots, not my thing. But margaritas, I love them. My next question is, what's your favorite video game? And that one is an older video game. It's something that me and my sister actually watched my dad play growing up, and it's called Dark Cloud. It was a PlayStation 2 game, and yeah, it's like a fantasy kind of open world type thing. You do play as one character, but as you progress, you get other characters that you can play as, and they each have their own like different abilities. It's so fun, and I actually bought it remastered to play on the PlayStation 4, I think like 2 or 3 years ago. It is a really good game. Like I would replay it now. Like I love that game. But yeah, and so the next question is, do you have pets? I do have pets. I currently have 3 cats. I have Zeba. She is my oldest girl. She is 5 years old. She's a cranky, chunky bitch. She does not like to be held. She's one of those cats that's like a typical cat that she's going to pick and choose when she wants to give affection. Like you can't just walk up to her and be like, oh, I want to pet you right now. She's all like, no. If I want you, I'll come to you. And she does that. Every once in a while, she get kind of needy, and I'll be like getting ready for stream, or I'll be getting ready for work, and she'll like meow and like scream at me, and I'm like, okay, you want to be petted, I understand. But then my next one is Tiger. He's my little boy. He's 2. He is so funny. He will get on top of my fridge. He walks on my counters. I clean my counters fairly frequently because I know that's kind of gross. But he just kind of does his own thing, and he's so funny. Like, he's a goofy boy. He will lay with his arms tucked, so he looks like a rotisserie chicken, and it's the cutest thing. I love him. And then finally, I have Luna. She is my little girl. I just got her about a month ago. She is 5 months old, and she's a little black kitten, so, she's actually like Luna from Sailor Moon, if you know me at all. I love Sailor Moon. And, yeah, so I named her after that, and yeah, she's so sweet. She purrs like crazy. Like, she sounds like an engine. Like, she's always purring. But, yeah, so that's my pets. I did have a Chihuahua Rico. I rescued him at 12 years old, back in 2017, I believe, and he lived until this past July. His name, did I say his name already? I said his name was Rico. And, yeah, he was a sweet boy. I miss him every day. But yeah, so he was my first pet on my own out of the house. But yeah, so those are my pets. They're the most important things to me, besides my family, of course, and I love them. They're my children. Next question is, who's your best friend? And so that kind of goes back to what I just said, besides my family. My family is definitely my best friend, just like all of them collectively. Being a military brat, and I think almost any military brat would agree with me, when you're moving around constantly and, going to different schools and all that, you don't really have roots anywhere. Your family really is like the most important thing in that situation. So, yeah, my parents and my 2 little sisters are my best friends. The next question is, if you could move anywhere, where would it be? So like I mentioned earlier, we did live in Europe for about 4 years. We lived in Germany. However, we visited 16 different European countries. We counted. And we visited Scotland twice. So our family is Scottish. Like, that's where the Bairds come from, I guess. And it's a beautiful place. So if I could move anywhere right now, with no, strings attached, no, issues, it would be Scotland, 100%. The people there are great. They're so, at least the ones that we came in contact with, they were sarcastic and just raw in a way that Americans just aren't. And of course, the history there is fantastic, and the landscape is just beautiful. But yeah, so that's where I would go. And then coming into my last question, why do you want to be a content creator streamer? Why do I want to be, a content creator? And I think just kind of the best way to say it is, I grew up watching content creators. I grew up watching Jenna Marbles and Markiplier and, Jacksepticeye and stuff. I grew up, turning to those types of people because they created such a welcoming community. I could watch their videos and I felt like I knew them, and I felt like I had a friend in them. Not in a weird way. I know some people take that too far, and feel like they actually know them. I know that I don't actually know those people, but I would watch their videos and I felt comforted. I felt like I had a friend. I felt like, just for that 10, 15, 20, whatever minutes of their video, I'm like, oh, I'm hanging out with this person. I feel safe and comfortable in this space. So I wanted to create that for other people who are like me, who maybe are a little different, or maybe don't fit in with where they're at, because I know that a lot of times I don't feel like I fit in with where I'm at. So I kind of got into content creation back in kind of the beginning of COVID in a way. It was August of 2020 when I decided to get into content creation. I just saw what everyone else was doing, and I saw their communities and how they were growing and how they felt like friends and tight-knit, and that they could turn to these people in this community, not just the streamer or content creator, but also just people in the community, and feel like they had someone. And to me, that's fantastic. I know that even with all of this, technology that we have today, a lot of times people feel really alone. And, for people to be able to come into my stream or come watch my videos or, just talk to me, so that they don't feel alone, that's something that I really want to be able to give people. And, it's just fun. Creating content is fun to me, and streaming is so fun, and I love playing video games anyway, and I this is just a space that I've always loved, and things that I've always enjoyed doing. So it just kind of seems like a no-brainer for me to get into this space, and I'm super excited to see where, the future takes us. I know that so many people get into this space, and we all want to succeed, and I know that it's not always that easy, and I've been doing this for about 1.5 years now, just with streaming and TikTok and all that stuff, so I know that it's not easy, but that's kind of why I'm wanting to, spread out into YouTube and hopefully see where this goes, because this could go somewhere, or it could not. We'll see. But yeah, so hopefully that wasn't too awkward or uncomfortable to watch. This is kind of my first time just talking to the camera without, having a chat or something to talk to. Hopefully I get more comfortable with this, because even right now I'm a little anxious about it. But yeah, so hopefully, if you didn't know me before, hopefully I seem to be a person that you wouldn't mind hanging out with, in a stream or a video or something, or even just chatting with. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I'm going to plug the typical YouTuber thing. If I seem like a decent person to you, if you just want to hit that subscribe button, if you want to like the video, that'd be super helpful, or even share it with, your friends. But yeah, all I have to say is thank you guys. Thank you for being here.